you ever sat down to study, determined to focus, only to find yourself scrolling your phone, staring at your textbook, and feeling like your brain just refuses to cooperate? You're not lazy, and it's not your willpower that's failing you. What's really happening is that your brain is overstimulated, and it's sabotaging your ability to focus. Here's the truth. Modern life is designed to hijack your attention. Every notification, video, social media post, and even the endless chatter in your environment is training your brain to crave instant rewards. This constant stimulation rewires your brain to expect dopamine hits every few seconds. And when you finally sit down to study, your brain is suddenly faced with an activity that doesn't give those instant rewards. Reading a paragraph, solving a problem, or memorizing a formula takes sustained effort. And that feels almost impossible when your brain is wired for constant entertainment. The first step to understanding why studying feels so hard is realizing how overstimulation changes your brain chemistry. Dopamine is the key here. Dopamine is often called the reward chemical because it motivates you to seek pleasure and avoid pain. Every time you get a like, a message, or short burst of entertainment, your brain releases dopamine. Over time, your reward system adapts, and the small rewards from studying don't feel nearly as satisfying. Your brain literally prefers the quick hits of dopamine from your phone over the slow, effortful rewards of learning. This is why the first 5 minutes of studying feel manageable, but after 10 or 15 minutes, your mind starts wandering. It's not a lack of discipline, it's biology. Your brain is craving stimulation, and it will fight the slow, focused work of studying. This overstimulation can also cause something called decision fatigue. Every time you scroll, click, or switch tabs, your brain has to make a tiny choice. Multiply that by hundreds of times a day, and by the time you sit down to study, your mental energy is already depleted. You feel drained, distracted, and ready to give up before you even start. So, how do you fix this? How do you retrain your brain to focus again? Step 1 is to reset your reward system. You need to reduce the constant hits of dopamine so your brain can appreciate slower, more meaningful rewards. That means limiting your phone, turning off notifications, and creating distraction-free study zones. Even a single hour of focused work without interruptions can start to rewire your brain to tolerate and eventually enjoy deep focus. Step 2 is to use your brain's natural attention cycles. Your brain wasn't built to focus for hours on end. It works in bursts of about 25 to 50 minutes. That's why techniques like the Pomodoro method are so effective. Study intensely for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. During the break, don't check your phone. Stretch, walk, or just close your eyes. This gives your brain a reset, so the next study session is productive instead of a fight against your own biology. Another important aspect is managing the environment around you. Every extra stimulus, from clutter to noise, adds to your brain's load and makes overstimulation worse. Studies show that working in a clean, organized, and calm environment improves focus dramatically. Even small changes like turning off background music with lyrics, keeping your desk clear, or studying in a quiet room can reduce the mental load your brain has to handle. Now, let's talk about mindset. When your brain is overstimulated, you naturally associate studying with struggle. You feel bored, anxious, or frustrated, and your brain interprets that as a signal to escape. But here's the trick. If you shift your mindset to see studying as a challenge rather than a chore, your brain starts releasing small amounts of dopamine for problem solving itself. Each small success, like finishing a paragraph, solving a question, or understanding a concept, gives your brain a little reward. Over time, this rewires your brain to enjoy focus rather than dread it. Nutrition and energy levels also play a huge role. A tired brain is a distracted brain. When you rely on sugar, caffeine, or snacks for energy, you get short bursts followed by crashes, making focus even harder. Fuel your brain with balanced meals, stay hydrated, and make sure you're getting enough sleep. Sleep isn't just rest. It's when your brain consolidates memory and repairs itself. No matter how much you study, an overstimulated and tired brain will struggle to retain information. Another secret is to train your attention like a muscle. Just like going to the gym, focus improves with consistent practice. Start small. Begin with 15 or 20 minutes of uninterrupted study, then gradually increase. Remove distractions before you start, and make a commitment to yourself to stay on task. Over time, your brain will adapt. You'll notice that the same study session that used to feel impossible starts to feel manageable and even satisfying. You can also use dopamine management to your advantage. Reward yourself strategically. After completing a study block, allow a controlled reward, like checking social media or listening to a favorite song. The key is balance. You don't want constant stimulation, but occasional rewards make your brain associate effort with pleasure, strengthening focus and motivation. Remember, this is not about blaming yourself. Feeling like studying is impossible is a symptom of overstimulation, not laziness. Your brain has been trained for instant gratification, and studying is a skill that takes practice and adaptation. The good news is your brain is plastic, it can change. With consistent effort, strategic breaks, and careful management of stimuli, you can retrain your brain to focus, retain information, and even enjoy the process of learning. So the next time you sit down and feel that familiar resistance, pause and recognize what's happening. Your brain is overstimulated, craving instant rewards, and resisting the slower work of focus. Take steps to reduce distractions, follow your natural attention cycles, manage your environment, fuel your brain properly, and reward yourself wisely. These strategies are simple, but they work. Studying won't feel impossible anymore. It will feel like a skill you're actively building, a challenge you're mastering, and a process that, with practice, becomes effortless. Your brain will learn to focus again, and with that focus, your potential becomes limitless. Stop blaming yourself for distraction. Start understanding your brain. Train it, manage it, and master it. When you do, the impossible becomes possible, and studying becomes something you can not just endure but actually thrive at.